praises to Ahaya in the name of Yeshaya. And Shabbat Shalom to all your brothers and sisters. It's good to see, you know, who's here today. Believe me, I've been getting texts from the morning, all right, up until now. And I know a lot of people is not going to be able to make it due to unforeseen circumstances. Okay, so we're going to have a small class. And the lesson that we're going to go into is actually going to be a very short lesson. And see, for those who were here and was able to, you know, follow along with Brother Thomas and able to take in the information concerning certain vaccines and all that. So, you know, if those who were able to hear all those information, take heed, do your research, check it out, because there's a lot of things that they're administering to us, you know, through these guys with these lab coats, white lab coats and stethoscope, and they're killing people. Okay. We got a sister today actually probably giving birth right now. That's a part of our congregation. Those who don't know, is Sister Alicia, Brother Cordell's wife. They're in the hospital today, so hopefully by the grace of the Most High, they're able to have a healthy, whole baby girl. Okay, and you know, pray that Father, well, I know he's an adamant man and he's going to be strong-willed to not let any needles be administered to this child, because you know these doctors, that's the first thing that they want to do. The child comes out, yeah, let me give him this vitamin K shot. Let me give her this vitamin K shot. You know, it's going to stop the hemorrhage. Listen, our people were dealing with that before there was even any hospitals. Our people they didn't need no, our children didn't need no vitamin K shots back in ancient times. You would have midwives, they would help the woman deliver the baby, cut the cord, the baby's good. The baby would start sucking. Good. No vitamin K shots, you didn't need to draw any blood, you didn't need to give any vaccines, none of that. So everything that you see them doing today, it's all meticulous, and it's all, they're not discriminating who they're doing this to. Don't even think, say, okay, it's only black people alone they're doing this to. No, they're doing it to white people, they're doing it to Chinese people, Indian people. They don't care who they're doing it to. Why? Because the medical industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. They get paid to administer these vaccines. They get, when you go to and you swipe that health card and punch it up, guess what? Whoever doctor you're seeing, he's getting paid. Nurses, they're getting paid. You know, so I'm sure the information that he went into was very informative. So, you know, check that out, and you know, keep on, as I said, do your own research, because there's always something new out there, you know, that you can be able to come and share with us. All right. There's one thing that I also that I came across too, and it's actually, you know, trying to see if I can make it even incorporated in my lesson. I don't know if anyone was watching the news lately and see what was going on. There's a prominent pastor, okay, very big name pastor. He has a church at Finch and 400. And I'm not trying to, listen, I'm not trying to bash me. I don't even know if the allegations are true, okay? But, you know, from what I know, this pastor is being charged with sexual assault. And, you know, he has one of those bigger churches, and the name of the church is called Pride Palace, which I used to attend to, you know? And I have a lot of friends that actually go there. And, you know, I'm even finding out that they even had a school up in there. Like a school that, you know, you can pay for your child to go every day. I didn't even know that. And, you know, to hear that, you know, on the news, that this brother's, you know, well, the allegation is that he's sexually assaulting not one, but multiple women. Right? So, and me just looking at the history of the Christian church, hey, what are you going to say? It's not true? Because if they're not sexually assaulting a woman, it's going to be either a young boy or a young man. That's what the Christian church is dealing with: homosexuality, lasciviousness, and all kind of lewdness. Right? And, you know, this is what these churches, this is what they're doing. And I'm telling you, like, I would never think that this brother in his age would, you know, be called out on something like that. But hey, it don't matter. This brother's 80 years old, and look, you know, and I'm saying, this is the thing. These churches, they make money. They make money. A lot of the members in their church are poor people. Some of them, you know, are probably well off. Some of them are poor. And you have these pastors now. Like, I was watching this one video clip of a pastor in church, and I think it was around Christmas time, and he had the children them in a square, and all the children them were on their knees, and this pastor had money, and he was just going around, just throwing the money on the carpet. He's like, we're gonna play a little game here. I'm gonna throw a whole bunch of money. He had silvers and he had dollar bills, $50 bills, $100 bills, $20 bills, $10 bills, $5 bills. And he was just walking around, and he was in the camera, he was making it rain. Just making it rain. And he's like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. When the money's on the floor, everybody's gonna be on their knees. All the children is gonna be on their knees. And the pastor is gonna turn off the light, and the children are going to stay on their knees and try to grab as much money as they can grab. On their knees in the dark. Now tell me, what is that? What kind of worship is that? Question. Children are on their knees, and pastors has money on the floor, and he's turning off the lights, and he's saying, grab the money. What is that? What idol is that? Idolatry. That's idolatry, right? Yeah.
In God we trust.
Yeah. And this is what the pastor is doing. This is a pastor of a church. And I'm saying, you know, going back to this brother at the Prayer Palace, listen, their money is their power. And you got the members in the congregation who, listen, they give the little that they have. Some of them give all the money because why? The church is dealing with a prosperity movement. To say, you know what, if you're a good giver, if you're a cheerful giver, and you give to the Most High, you're gonna be blessed. Just sow a seed, sow $1,000 seed. Some of these people can't even pay their rents properly. Some of these people need help, and here goes the pastor telling them, yeah, sow this and sow that, and the Most High is gonna bless you. And this is how these pastors be able to take advantage of certain single mothers. Young women. These women might be in a position to say, you know, hey, I'm not doing so well. And pastor be like, listen, don't worry. Yeah, I'll take care of you. I'll do something for, you know, I'll do something for you. You just do something for me. And this is what they do, and proposition these people. The same thing happened with what's his name? What's that former football? What is it?
I thought you were going to say Eddie Long.
Eddie Long, him. Look at him. He was molesting 4 young men, and these young men were over the age of 18. He was molesting them, and guess what was the ploy? Money. He was carrying them on trips, buying them cars, all of that. I'm telling you, this is what these leaders do in the churches, especially in the Christian church. This is what they do. And they get vulnerable young men and women who are in financial straits and take advantage of them. And you know, this is not really what this brother or sister wants. Actually, they just need advice. They just need counsel. They just need help. Which is basically what the pastor is supposed to do when people pay their tithes. You're supposed to use that storehouse money and help out your people in the congregation. Not use it as you know, a lure for your own personal desires. And you know, as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if everything comes out where all these allegations are true. I wouldn't be surprised. Don't know the full details yet, but as I said, just looking at the history of the Christian church, and you know, from one pastor after the other, there's always a scandal. There's always somebody, you know, saying, yeah, this pastor did this to me and that pastor did that to me. So, just wanted to, you know, put it out there, just in case any one of you guys wanted to go to that church. Okay? Hey, listen, I'm just giving you the information. Okay? I'm not telling you can't go. I can't do that, but beware. Know exactly what you're going into. All right? Okay. Let's get into this lesson. As I said, this is not going to be a long lesson. And I don't think anybody else is. We'll probably have a couple more people that's supposed to be here. But hopefully they make it before I finish the lesson. So. All right. But the lesson that we're going into today is about money. Okay? And the lesson is called The Great Paper Chase. We love that money. So, some of us, we work because we need the money. We need to not only, take care of ourselves, but also our families, right? We need to pay this, we need to pay that. In today's society, you need money to do that. You can't be paying your rent with cattle and goat and sheep and no fruits or livestock and all that. Not out back in ancient days how we used to do. All right? So, we're going to go into a couple scriptures concerning money and how to be able to use it or try to obtain money moderately and not try to run after it and make it our God. Okay? And let it consume us. All right? So, let's get into it. Follow me. Follow me to Proverbs 23 and 4. Proverbs 23 and 4. I said, we all need money, and there's sometimes we just lose sight of things. Sometimes we'll do practically anything to get the money. And sometimes, it's even going against the Most High's word. Sometimes we do it to get the money. We might not even know that we're doing that, but when you check it out, that's what an individual is doing, right? Well, let's see what the scripture says concerning money. Okay? Proverbs 23 verse 4.
Book of Proverbs chapter 23 verse 4. Labor not to be rich. Cease from thine own wisdom.
Read that again.
Labor not to be rich.
So the scripture is saying labor not to be rich. So it's not telling you that you're not supposed to work. It's telling you that you can labor, but don't labor to be rich. And a lot of us, we see this celebrity on TV and we see that person on TV and they're well off, they're financially stable, and sometimes you want to be just like them, and sometimes you don't just want to work to be able to be like them. You want to be able to acquire those riches some other way, and sometimes it's it's by devious methods. Sometimes methods that's going to cause you to sin. Okay, but the scripture is saying, labor not to be rich. Read.
Cease from thine own wisdom.
So stop doing what you think is right, and only do according to the wisdom of the Most High. That's what you're supposed to do. That's how you're supposed to operate. Operate with the wisdom of the scriptures. That's the Most High. How the scriptures is going to tell you how to acquire money, you go with the scriptures. And first of all, you're going to try to acquire all these. You're going to work to try to get rich or do other things to acquire money, and you're still a slave. So all it is that you're gonna do all these things to get money, and you're just gonna be a slave with a lot of money. Because you have to remember, this is not your kingdom. It don't matter how much money you have in here. They're gonna still look at you. You're a slave. At the end of the day, you're a slave. You're just a slave with a little bit of money. And guess what? Most times if you try to use that, you get a little bit of wealth now and you try to boast up now against your slave masters, they'll find a way to strip you of that. They'll find a way to strip you of that and take all of that away from you. And then bring you back to the level of a slave that you're supposed to be. Let's go to Revelations 2 and 9. Let's see what that says. To show that this is the kind of rich, this is the riches that we're supposed to really have. All right? Revelations 2 and 9.
Book of Revelations, chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
So this is John on the Isle of Patmos having this revealed to him by Christ. Right? Start again.
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
Children of Israel, I know thy works, thy tribulation and poverty. What?
But thou art rich.
But thou art what?
Thou art rich.
But thou art rich. Rich in what? Rich in spirit. And guess what? We continue to live according to the law, statutes, and commandments. We're going to even have greater riches when the kingdom comes. That's why Christ said, listen, don't store up your treasures on earth where thieves come and steal it and moth and it does corrupt it. But store up your riches in heaven. Store it up into the kingdom. So when you're in that kingdom, that's when your riches are gonna be significant. That's when you're gonna see the glory of your riches. Because you have to remember, in the kingdom, you're gonna have the streets that paved of gold. Nobody ain't walking on gold now. Yo, last time I remember, it's asphalt, concrete, black. The kingdom is gonna be adorned with all kind of manner of precious stones. You're gonna have the nations then bringing in their wealth unto us willingly. Willingly. Read that again. Read Revelations 9.
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
But thou art rich. Thou art rich in spirit, and when the kingdom comes, that's when you're going to really have that real riches, that real glory. You don't try to do it here. Don't try to get that glory here and have all this treasure here in this present kingdom, because it's not your kingdom. And they're going to still look at you as a slave anyway. You're just a slave with money.
But one thing I understand, if you're rich, you're a rich nigga. If you're poor, you're a poor nigga. If you're educated, you're a smart nigga. At the end of the day, they still look at me as a nigga. And that's something that I understand.
Follow me to Deuteronomy 28:48. Everything that we have in today's society right here and now, it's just temporary. It's temporary. It ain't gonna last. And when Christ comes back, guess what? It's gonna be destroyed anyway. So what's the use? Have spiritual riches. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48.
So this is what the scripture is going to tell us, that, listen, we're under a curse right now. We're still under a curse. We're still under a curse. All right, read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
And in what?
And in want of all things.
And in want of all things. And this is how we are today. We've brought our ancestors, were brought here as slaves, in nakedness, in hunger, in thirst, and they wanted everything. They wanted all things and couldn't even get it. And today we're still the same. We would like to have the same thing as the slave masters then, or those who are over us, but we can't. Why? Because this is a curse that's still on us. Why? Because this is not our kingdom. When we're spiritually minded now, then we won't even have to worry about trying to acquire all these riches. What we should really worry about now is how to apply these laws, statutes, and commandments to our lives, and how to live by it, and how to become perfect, and how to become holy. That's the real spiritual riches. It's not to say, well, yeah, I got 50 grand in my bank account. I'm nice. Well, I got 100 grand. All that is good. That's fine. But that can be taken away any minute. And then what? Read 28:48 for me again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee.
Until he have destroyed thee. So, how you see all of us living right now, and it don't matter what occupation that you have, this occupation, no matter what it is, it's at the end of it, it's to destroy you, either put you in debt, or just keep you dependent, or make you just forget your God altogether. You not dealing with the Most High. You'll be so consumed with work that you won't even have time to even open up a Bible or to hear anybody want you speak in truth, because you're so consumed. And that's really what the plan of the enemy is. That's really what Satan is doing through these people that are ruling over us, giving us all these occupations, or giving us certain job. Not just say, okay, here, take that and have a good life and live and get rid. No, it's to ultimately destroy you at the end of it, spiritually and physically. Follow me to Psalms 37 and 16.
A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked.
Okay, so a little that a righteous man has is better than the riches of many wicked. Why? Because the little that you have is going to always keep you humble. It's going to always keep you, especially if you're in tune with the Most High, dependent on the Most High. Why? Because it's a little. It's only sufficient enough for that day. So when the next day comes, you're dependent on the Most High now to continue to supply your needs. When you have more than enough, sometimes you forget the Most High. You don't even think about the Most High. You forget how to pray. You don't want to pray no more. Why? Because, I got food in my house and all my bills are paid, and you just feel nice. You forget all of these things. You forget the important things because you have all of these, everything else. But when you just had it just enough, you are always on your toes. You're always vigilant and saying, okay, I gotta be careful here. I gotta be able to ration this out. And the Most High only gave me enough for today, and tomorrow is another. That's a different story. So that little now that you have for today now, when tomorrow comes, you're dependent on the Most High now to help you for tomorrow. And not saying, okay, I don't need the Most High. I got food to last me for a month. I got a cellar downstairs packed with food. And I'm not saying you can't have those things, but don't make that be your crutch. Don't let it be your crutch. Continue.
Verse 17. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous.
Read that again.
For the arms of the wicked shall be broken.
For the arms of the wicked shall be broken. Their end is going to come soon. Their end is going to come soon. And I'll tell you this, like I said last week, listen, and we're going to go into a scripture that shows that there's rich people who can't even sleep at night. They cannot sleep like that. Well, you don't got that much. But guess what, though? You can't even get enough sleep. You're dying to sleep. You're so busy that you're like, you just want to put down your head. As you drop your head somewhere, you're out. And guess what? Your sleep is nice. Some people, listen, they got to take all kinds of prescription just to fall asleep. Look at Michael Jackson. One prime example. This brother couldn't sleep. Michael Jackson had money. He was buying everything. He bought the rights to some music or something like that. I forgot exactly what it was, but Michael Jackson had money, and to the point where Michael Jackson couldn't sleep. Michael Jackson had to get what? Demerol, and what is the next one he took?
Oh yeah, the doctors had to induce him into sleep.
Yeah.
And wake him up.
And wake him up
when he was doing his tour.
Yeah. Propofol. He had to take all those things just to go to sleep because he was like he couldn't sleep. And Michael was doing, before he really found out what he really got himself into, he was dealing with a lot of wickedness. in the music industry, once you sign that contract, they take you through the rituals. You know, you meet all the big wigs, all the rich guys. You're in the $20 million club now. This is what it is. This is what it is. And listen, when Michael, I was just looking at when he was young, and just seeing him as a child, he didn't care about money. Michael didn't care about nothing. And that time Michael had his complexion. Michael, you know, he was looking, you know, he was brown, right? But when you heard him sing, he was singing from his heart. You can hear the spirit. And it was just, you know, it was righteous. But then he had his father there now. That was like, okay, man, yeah, my little boy is blessed. And you see dollar signs in his eyes. And started to exploit his child now. He exploited this child so much now to what he got him child into eventually killed him. Because once you sign that contract, guess what? You can't unsign to come out. The only way you're coming out is death. Death, or guess what? You better just be poor quick. Be poor quick, so that they'll be like, okay, you know what? He's done. He's worse than how he started.
That's where blood in and blood out. That term, blood in, blood out. Comes from.
There you go. There you go. Blood in, blood out. And Michael could not sleep after everything that he found out doing, and he tried to get out of this. These people, they were saying that he was molesting little boys. They brought everything upon Michael. Michael probably had about 20 people sued him before he died. And this is what they do. When they see that you're trying to come out, they slander you. They say this and they say that about you, and guess what? They financially drain you. They strip you of all that money. Michael was, when he was dying, he was renting a house. This is Michael Jackson, who had what's the house called that he owned? Neverland. The Neverland Ranch. And that place was just beautiful. Like, he had an amusement park and everything in there. And that was his. He owned that. And that had to go. He had to sell that just to stay afloat. When he died, the house that he was living in, he wasn't renting it. And just slowly and slowly, you know, they just killed him. So, you see, when you try to acquire and to try to get these riches the wrong way, the scripture says that there's a way that seems right unto a man, but the end thereof is death. So we can try to acquire all these riches by our own will or by our own wisdom, and not necessarily be the wisdom of the Most High, and then we end up dying in the process. What does it profit a man if he gains the world and loses his soul? You know? And I'm sure that's where Michael Jackson fell into. I'm sure he gained the world. Look how much people lie. I mean, you had women fainting like at every concert. I never see so much women faint in my life. Every time when they were showing a Michael Jackson song or a concert, you had stretchers taking out countless women. And, you know, died in his sins. Died in his sins. And believe me, I can sit here and say that. You know, he wanted to get out of something that he knew that wasn't right, but he didn't know exactly how to start doing righteous things that was pleasing according to the Most High. Right? Read 37 and 17 for me again.
Book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 17. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Most High upholdeth the righteous.
Okay. For the Most High upholdeth the righteous. So, if you're righteous and trusting in the Most High, listen, the Most High is going to give you just enough for you. Enough that is sufficient for you. And guess what? If you know that, okay, you know what? The Most High is, and I'm not saying that you can't be blessed. Abraham was blessed. He had livestock, he had silver, and he had gold. He had a lot of it. Isaac, same thing. Jacob, the same thing. But did they do anything? Did they go out of the boundaries of the Most High to acquire all this wealth? No. They stayed within the boundaries of the Most High. They trusted the Most High. And as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob walked with the Most High added all things unto them. Gave them more than what they really needed. And even when they got more than what they really needed, it didn't make them blind. It didn't make them to go off and say, oh, okay, wow. I can chill now. I don't got to pray today now. I'm all right. I'm not, I'm good. I really got to do this as how I did it yesterday or last week. They were always still in that frame of mind of always staying holy in the sight of the Most High and keeping His commandments. That's the secret of getting abundance righteously. And even when you get it, guess what? Still be righteous. Still do what you were doing before you got that abundance. Then you can say, you know what? You got and you acquired all these riches in righteousness. And these riches won't be a distraction to you to make you even stop worshiping or living for the Most High. Job, a prime example. Job was a very rich man. Lost all that he had, including family. And in the end, Job still kept his righteousness. Even through his tribulation, he still kept his righteousness. And at the end of it, the Most High gave him double. Didn't go out of his way to try to say, okay, you know what, I'm poor now. Let me try to do something now to try to get back rich or get back to my status. No, he just kept on believing in the Most High, kept on trusting in the Most High, kept on going through his tribulation, and he endured. And the Most High was able to reward him double, gave him twice as much as what he had in the beginning.
He also used it for charity. And Abraham, they would use their riches to help strangers and those the unfortunate.
Exactly. And thank you for bringing that out, because that's key too. Being hospitable. To say, okay, listen, I'm not just thinking about me, but I'm thinking about the stranger. I'm thinking about the one who don't got it. That's how you acquire, that's how you get abundance and get the blessings of the Most High. Okay? All right. Let's go to Joshua chapter 6, verse 18. Let's see what happens when we go out of the will of the Most High and do our own thing. Especially when the Most High gave us a specific command to say, listen, don't do this. I'm going to send you here to go do that. Don't do this. And you leave out of that and you step out of the bounds of that command and go do your own thing. Let's see what happens when that happens. Let's see what the result of that when you do that. Let's see the results of it. Joshua chapter 6, verse 18. Read.
Book of Joshua chapter 6 verse 18. And ye in any wise keep yourselves from the accursed thing.
So we're supposed to keep ourselves from the accursed thing, or anything that is evil, that the Most High don't like. Read.
Lest ye make yourselves accursed.
Because when we start coming amongst those things or acquiring those things that the Most High said, listen, or go near those things, or associate ourselves with those things that the Most High doesn't deal with, then we ourselves become accursed, become like what we're embracing, that the Most High told us not to embrace or associate ourselves with. Read it again.
And ye in any wise keep yourselves from the accursed thing.
Go ahead.
Lest ye make yourselves accursed, when ye take of the accursed thing, and make the camp of Israel a curse and trouble it.
So you gonna take of the accursed thing or do something or deal with something that's evil, and then you're amongst a congregation and you're amongst a body, and they ain't doing the same thing as you're doing, and you're amongst them, you're in the midst of them, and you're dealing with this and you're dealing with that, and not knowing that what you're dealing with is actually putting a curse on the whole congregation. Just because of what you're doing. And we're going to see examples of that as we go into the scriptures. Just to say that everybody else could be righteous and you could just be going off and dealing with some kind of folly. And then you're messing up your brothers and sisters. You're blocking blessings from your brothers and sisters that's right in the midst of you or amongst you because of what you're doing. People start getting sick and things are starting happening to people and they don't know what's going on and they're living right. But guess what? There's somebody in the camp. There's somebody in the church that's not dealing with righteousness. So because of that one person now, everybody else is affected. Let's go on the scriptures. Continue.
Verse 19. But all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron are consecrated unto the Most High. They shall come into the treasury of the Most High.
So, a lot of you may read the story or know about the story concerning Joshua and the children of Israel when they took down Jericho. And the Most High told them, gave them a specific command. Listen, certain things don't touch. And if you're gonna deal with the gold and silver, don't try to take it for yourselves. Bring it into the treasury of the Most High. Don't try to put something under your shirt and pretend like, yeah, I gave you, that's all I have. No. Because you do that now, and then you're going to mess up everybody else around you, including your own family and yourself. Right? Let's jump down. Let's go to Joshua chapter 7, verse 10. And when we see people doing that, thinking selfishly, that, it's just all about you. You're selfish. That's greed. That's greed. You're trying to get all of this, and you don't really need all of that. You don't really need all of that. And knowing that when you're trying to do all of these things, you're only bringing damnation upon yourself. Right? Joshua chapter 7, verse 10.
And the Most High said unto Joshua, Get thee up, wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face? Israel hath sinned. So the Most High said, listen, somebody has sinned. So,
after they took down Jericho, they tried to go up against some other town, another city. And they lost. And Ai was a small little city. Small. Jericho was nothing compared to Ai. And they, all they had to do was just march around Jericho 7 times, and that was it. Jericho was done. And now you got little Ai over here in the corner, can't even do nothing. And Ai beat Israel like a pulp and put them to flight. And the Most High, and Joshua is on his face. Joshua's like, what's going on here? We went to the Most High. We acquired. We prayed to the Most High, before we went up against this city. And like, how come we lost? How did we leave? How did we lose? How did we get beaten? And this city, it's smaller than Jericho. So he's on his face and he's like, you don't know what's going on. And I'm sure Joshua was checking himself and saying, okay, what did I do last week? From when I took down Jericho, did I went off somewhere? And not knowing that it wasn't even him. It was somebody else in the camp that was dealing with folly. Let's go into it. Let's get some more. Start again, brother, from the beginning, from where we left off, actually. Start from the top.
And the Most High said unto Joshua, Get thee up, wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face?
Get up off your face, Joshua. Stop sulking and mourning. Read.
Israel hath sinned.
Somebody has committed a sin amongst the children of Israel. Read.
And they have also transgressed my covenant, which I commanded them. For they have even taken of the accursed thing.
For they have even taken of the accursed thing. Read.
And have also stolen.
And have also stolen. So the children of Israel, this is Moses is gone already. And you know, so Moses was the one to receive the laws. So you know, one of the commandments was, thou shalt not what? Right? So, but not only just did they disobey the Most High, they actually broke a commandment now. Okay, read.
And have also stolen and dissembled also, and they have put it even among their own stuff.
And dissembled also. When it says dissembled also, they're allying. They're allying, and they were confederates one with another. They all agreed to do this thing, and made a pact to say, if anybody asks us, lie. Say you don't know, or say it wasn't me, it wasn't you. You don't know what's going on. Read verse 11 again.
Israel hath sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant which I commanded them. For they have even taken of the accursed thing, and have also stolen, and dissembled also. And they have put it even among their own stuff.
And they have put it even among their own stuff. So it's not even to say, you know what, let me take this and you're going to put it outside of the camp. You brought it inside the camp amongst your own belongings. And the Most High, and this is the thing, sometimes we do certain things, and I guess sometimes we don't realize that the Most High is seeing you. Maybe nobody else is seeing you, but always remember though that the Most High is seeing you, and guess what? That's the worst person. You don't want the Most High to see you. That's the worst person that you want to catch you doing something that's wrong. Okay? Let's jump down. Let's go to the 20th verse.
Joshua 7 and 20. And Achan, Achan answered Joshua and said, Indeed, I have sinned against the Most High God of Israel, and thus have I done. When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment, and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight, then I coveted them and took them. And behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it. Okay, so Achan, he saw the Babylonish garments and all the silver and gold. The garments, the Most High didn't even tell him to take the garments. Don't even touch that. Why even? You're not even supposed to be trying to dress like them. You're not even them. The Most High already had the attire for the children of Israel, and how the children of Israel are supposed to dress with their fringes and all of that. And you're taking also, Achan took the gold and the silver that was supposed to go into the treasury, and he hid it in his own tent. He digged a hole in the ground in his tent, and he hid it. Which is like, that was just so foolish. Why are you even going to do that? Because everything is going to point to you. And I'm not trying to say, steal it and hide it somewhere. I'm not trying to promote that. But I'm just saying, the way he went about it was just so foolish. Knowing that, listen, he was going to bound to get caught anyway. All right? Read 21 for me again. When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment.
So he saw amongst the spoils of the Babylonians, he saw fine clothes. And he's like, okay, yeah, I want this. Which he wasn't supposed to acquire. He wasn't supposed to take. Read.
And 200 shekels of silver. And a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight.
Gold.
Then I coveted them.
I coveted them. See that? We're breaking another commandment right there. He's like, I coveted them. I wanted something that didn't belong to me. Read.
And took them, and behold, They are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it.
Continue.
So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran unto the tent, and behold, it was hid in his tent, and the silver under it.
So Joshua found all the stolen items that Achan took. And what happened?
And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua and unto all the children of Israel, and laid them out before the Most High.
So Joshua was like, okay, Most High, okay, this is it. We found out what the problem was. Is this it? Is this what is making us lose our battle? Is this the reason why little AI took us down? Read.
And Joshua and all of Israel with him took Achan the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wedge of gold, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had, and they brought them unto the valley of Achor.
So they didn't even say, you know what? All right, Achan, it's all right. We got the things that you weren't supposed to be touching that you stole. You know, we're just gonna take it back, and you know, we're gonna burn the garment, and we're gonna take the gold and put it in the treasury. You know, it didn't go like that. They were like, listen, come here. You keep all of this, and come follow us up to this. Let's go down to that deep little valley there with that big ditches. Let's go. Him and all his family. What he did made his own family be an accomplice. They were able. They got the same punishment with him, even though they didn't physically go and take these things with him. But guess what? When the scripture says that they dissembled themselves, they knew that their father did these things. Their father already prepped them and counseled them and said, listen, just don't say nothing. Don't say nothing to Joshua or any of the children of Israel. Okay, I'm going to hide it right here. Only me and you know where this is. Okay? They automatically all conspire. So it's just like as if they did steal it with their father. Okay? Read.
Verse 25. And Joshua said, why hast thou troubled us? The Most High shall trouble thee this day. And all Israel stoned him with stones, and burnt them with fire, after they had stoned them with stones. And they raised over him a great heap of stones unto this day. So the Most High turned from the fierceness of his anger. Wherefore the name of that place was called the Valley of Achor unto this day.
Okay, so stoned Achan and his family to death. And that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough, because after when they got stoned to death, everything got burnt to fire. The gold with them and them. And the children of Israel, you know that we don't believe in cremation and all of that stuff. So you know that Achan and his family, they were erased out of history. They practically took themselves out of the book of life. And as I was doing a lesson, I'm like, all of us have our names written in the book of life. All of our names are there. And it's for us to keep our names in the book of life. Because when Christ is gonna, after the 1,000 years, Christ is gonna be checking the books. Before the 1,000 years and after the 1,000 years, he's gonna be checking the books to see, okay, whose name is still in the books. He ain't gonna be seeing you and say, well, you know what, you're righteous, and then let me write your name in the book. No, your name is already there. Your name is already in the book. So it's only you can take your name out of the book. And that's what Achan did. And his family had to suffer the same fate as he did. Okay? So that's a prime example right there of you disobeying the Most High. You chasing after money. And especially you're not trying to acquire it and do it according to how the Most High told you how to acquire it and get it. But you know, you thought you could have pulled a fast one and nobody's going to notice. Listen, nobody, you know, man might not see you, but the Most High sees you. He knows everything that you're going to do. Whether you do it openly or whether you do it in secret. Okay? So because of this thing, Achan didn't only affect himself, but he also affected this sin or transgression affected his own family. Let's jump down to verse chapter 22, verse 20.
Joshua. The book of Joshua, chapter 22, verse 20. Did not Achan, the son of Zerah, commit a trespass in the accursed thing, and wrath fell on all the congregation of Israel?
So because of this one man, the whole congregation suffered. Because of this one brother. Read.
And that man perished not alone in his iniquity.
Because Achan and his whole family, plus the things that he stole, perished with him. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 4 and 6.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 6. Better is a handful with quietness than both the hands full with travail and vexation of spirit.
Read it again.
Better is a handful with quietness than both the hands full with travail and vexation of spirit.
So basically, what that scripture, to sum it up, the scriptures are saying, be content with what you got, what the Most High has blessed you with. If He blessed you with a handful, be content with the handful. Then trying to have 2 handfuls. Be content with what the Most High has given you. Because you going off and trying to acquire more now would only bring vexation or destruction to yourself. Let's get another one. Let's get Proverbs 15 and 16.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 16. Better is little with the fear of the Most High than great treasure and trouble therewith.
Okay, what is the fear of the Most High? All right, thank you. That's, beginning of wisdom, right? The fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom, right? So you're going to fear the Most High, meaning you're going to be wise and walk according to His laws, statutes, and commandments, because you're going to have that wisdom to live according to His laws, right? So it's better to have the fear of the Most High, be wise, right? Than what?
Better is little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble therewith.
Okay, better is little with the fear of the Most High than great treasure, meaning having an abundance, but you're going to have trouble while having that abundance. And this is it, seeing a lot of people when they win the lottery and all of that, or even just say, for instance, a drug dealer. He's making money. He's making money. You can see that through his car. You can see that through the house. You can see that through how many women he has and all of that. And because somebody else, you're making all this money, there's a guy over in the corner there watching you. And guess what? He's plotting. The best time to catch you off guard, to be able to relinquish you of some of that wealth that you've been acquiring. And that's trouble. And as I said, when I was selling drugs, before I came into the truth, that's one of the things that I had to think about. Because that came with the territory. You're going to get into that game, guess what? There's going to be somebody who's going to, we'll call it red eye, who's going to bad mind you for what the things that you're getting. They'll be like, okay, he's making too much money on the block. I can't even make any money. And they see you, and they see you making money and you're stepping up. Before, you just started with a pebble. Now you got bricks. And then when you least expect it, now you get so comfortable in your riches now because you're the man. You have this and you have that now. And they run upon you. And they take that. And that's the trouble that comes with it. And that's what I have to prepare myself and tell myself that, listen, yo, hey, a man can come any day and come and try to take what I got. And I know what I was doing wasn't right. And I know, because I know it wasn't right, these are the things what might happen. I might get robbed. I might go to jail. These are the things that came into my mind. So when I was doing those things, it's not like say I was doing it blindly and not knowing. I knew exactly what the consequences would be. And this is what the scripture is saying. Like, listen, when you try to come and acquire all this wealth and do it unrighteously and not with the help of the Most High and with his guidance, these are the trouble. These are the trouble that's going to come upon you. But when you do things now and you stay in the will of the Most High now, and you're content with what the Most High has given you, you will never see any trouble come your way. Why? Because listen, so a man's gonna see you now and listen, you're just humbly, going through life. And listen, he's gonna be like, yeah, man, he's gonna probably ask you if you need some help. Much less to conspire to do you harm or to rob you of whatever, possessions you have. That's the blessings of the Most High. And this is, as I said, when we go out there from day to day and we work or whatever things that we try to acquire, whatever wealth we try to acquire, let's try to do it according to the law, statutes, and commandments. So that, hey, we're not going to try to bring trouble or attract trouble while we're trying to do these things not according to the way of the Most High, or not according to the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. Read Proverbs 15 and 16 for me again, please.
Better is little with the fear of the Most High than great treasure and trouble therewith. Than great treasure and having trouble coming while you have this great treasure. Okay? Let's go to Ezekiel 7 and 19. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 19. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Most High. So this was judgment that was prophesied to the children of Israel. This was what's telling them that, listen, your gold, when the Most High's wrath is poured out upon you, your gold and your silver is not even going to save you. Because usually when the children of Israel, you would read certain accounts in the scriptures, when an enemy or another country or another nation would come upon them to try to war them, sometimes the children of Israel, sometimes the kingdom would try to buy, when they know they couldn't beat that nation, they would try to buy their way out of it. And become tributaries to the other nation, meaning that they'll make an agreement to give certain monies or gold or silver to this other nation so that they won't come and take them as captives or destroy them or kill them. And this is talking about 70 AD when the Romans them came for the children of Israel. The Romans them, they didn't want none of your gold or anything. And your gold, you can use your gold to try to bargain your way out of this, because it was already gone past that point where the Romans then surrounded Jerusalem and besieged it for almost 2 years, over 2 years. Negotiations were off. So this is what the Most High was telling the children of Israel. You're going to cast all your silver and all your gold in the streets. Why? Because it's not going to do you no good when that wrath, when my wrath comes, when I come down upon you through these other nations. It's not going to help you. You're not going to use this, your gold and your silver now to try to get out of this. Read again, start from the top again. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. And their gold shall be removed, because even when the Romans then burned down the temple, and the temple was overlaid with gold, listen, the gold melted and started to drip through the stone. And the places that weren't burned, you had the Romans that purposely burned
that part of the temple. Because why? There was gold in between the structure of the temple. So the Romans burned it now so the gold could melt and come out. They took it. Read.
Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Most High.
Go ahead.
They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity.
Because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. They trusted in it. They always thought that their wealth was always going to save them, and forgot that it was the Most High that was the one who preserved them. Through everything that they went through, was the Most High was their help. It was the Most High that was able to deliver you. But because Israel got so rich and pompous, their riches became a stumbling block, and it became an idol. Let's go back. Let's go back to Ezekiel. Let's go back to Ecclesiastes. Excuse me. Is Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 10. And this is what it is. And you know, I see now when they had those Jordans come on, what they call the ones, the 16s or something like that. They had it with, you know what I'm talking about, man. You're the baller, man. They had what is it called? That creamy bottom or something like that. I forgot the name of those Jordans, man. But they just came out the other day, and you had people over here and in the States like lining up. I think these Jordans are like $200, but they're, you know, they were like a collector's, you know, choice. And they had, man, what did they? They had it's like a see-through bottom, man. I forgot what shoes were, but they're called like Jordan 16s or something. And they were the old school Jordans, but they came back now with different designs and the retros, right? Yeah. So, and yo, and all you can, there was one video clip, and they showed this reporter was talking to this one Israelite, and he's over there in the States, and he's like, yeah, I was out here for 2 days. I was out here for 2 days, and he's like, yeah, and yeah, he kissed the shoe too. He's like, yeah, you know, and this is it. This is like we acquire our money to buy all these things that, yo, brother, as soon as you put that shoe on and step somewhere, that's it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like the things that people would do for all the, you know. I see the iPhone coming out, and the new iPhone. Sure, there's gonna be a new iPhone 7 coming out, and you're gonna see a whole bunch of people in tents camping out just to be the first one or the second one to pop you and buy it. And yo, this is, and our people. You see, a lot of our people are in those lines, waiting, trying to acquire all these things. Just because you got a little money now, and that's what it is. It turns to idol worship. You listen, you can idol worship shoes. You can. And I'm saying, yeah, you know, you can have a good amount of shoes. But when you're doing anything and camping out at a store for 2 days just to get a pair of shoes, that's too far. There's a problem now. There's a problem. That's when you know, okay, you know, I'm going off now. You got to check yourself, because now it's a form of idol worship. This shoes is everything to you now, to the point you don't even care about food. And some of these people, they got children, they got families at home, and they'll rather neglect their families just to acquire these things, which is a big no-no. Because we can go into Timothy's and says that a man who don't take care of his own household, he's worse than an infidel, and he's denied the faith. Right? So, man, it's just crazy how sometimes, you know, when we have a little money in our pocket, how it can make us be so foolish at times. You know, let's get Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 10.
Book of Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 10. He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity. When goods increase, they are increased that eat them. And what good is there to the owners thereof, saving the beholding of them with their eyes?
So you're going to have all these riches right in front of you, and you're not thinking about saying, you know what, all right, I got a neighbor over here on my left and I got a neighbor over here on my right that ain't doing so good as I am. Instead of me having all of this abundance for myself, let me be able to help out some people. But some rich people, they're just selfish. They just want everything for themselves. And you know, they'll die just looking at their wealth, just beholding it. And that's what it is. You have all of this, and you just have it just so that you can look at it. Just so that you can look at it, and you don't care about anybody else. And you just die looking at it, beholding it. As if, you know, that's the end all. And that's it. I acquire all these riches now, and I'm just going to spend my time just looking at it, and looking at it, and looking at it. Read verse 11 for me again.
When goods increase, they are increased that eat them. And what good is there to the owners thereof?
What good is there to the owners of these goods that have these goods that and has increased in more goods? Read.
Saving the beholding of them with their eyes.
You're just going to be looking at them, just having them to look at, because why? You're not thinking about sharing it. Okay, read.
The sleep of a laboring man is sweet.
Read that again.
The sleep of a laboring man is sweet.
Read.
Whether he eat little or much, but the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep.
Read that part again.
But the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep.
See that? When you're rich, you can't get no sleep. Scriptures, right there in the scriptures, loud and clear. The working man, the sleep of a laboring man is sweet. Why? Because he's working so that he can just have enough for either that week or that 2 weeks, or even for that day. So when he goes home now, he knows he's been working hard and he's laboring. All he want to do is just go to sleep and get some rest to continue the next day. And he's going to get that rest. And it's going to be sweet. So there's no rest, okay, for the greedy. Okay? The more money that they get is the more money that they want. They want more and more and more and more. Alright? Almost finished here. Told you it's not going to be a long lesson. It's going to be very short. Right? And, you know, as I said, as long as everybody gets the gist of it, that's the, you know, the aim right now. Let's go to Proverbs 28 and 22.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 22. He that hasteth to be rich hath an evil eye.
So he that rushes or trying to do everything that he can to gain riches, especially in a short period of time, the scripture says that you have an evil eye. Why? Because you're only thinking about yourself. You're only thinking of what you can do to acquire these riches in a short amount of time. Some people saying working is too long. I can't be able to work and be able to get the money that I want. And that's just what it is. It's what you want. You see, your wants and your needs are two different things. Your want is above and beyond. It's something that you don't need. Something that you want is not something that you need. See, something that you need now is what you need now to help you be sufficient for today and to carry you over to the next. Read that again.
He that hasteth to be rich hath an evil eye.
As an evil eye.
And considereth not that poverty shall come upon him.
So he don't think that poverty is going to come upon him. He's not considering that. Why? Because he's too in his mind thinking about what he can do now to get rich. Not knowing that listen, anything can happen now, and you can become a poor man. You can become a bum on the street, just like that. All right, let's get one more. Let's get Luke 16 and 13.
Luke chapter 16, verse 13. No servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God, or the Most High, and Mammon.
And you got a lot of our brothers and sisters like that. You know, they'll be wanting to get the money and say, well, yeah, I still love the Most High. Listen, if you're going to be dealing with the Most High to try to say, okay, you know what, you need to be blessed or whatever the case may be, or, you know, you need the Most High to supply all your needs, then you're going to do it the Most High's way. You're not going to be doing it your way over here and then still mentioning the Most High out of your mouth. It don't work like that. And the way that you're trying to do it is not according to the Most High's word. You can't serve two masters. It's either you're going to just deal your own way, just deal with Mammon and forget about the Most High, or forget about Mammon and deal with the Most High. You can't have it half and half. You can't do that. And I see a lot of people trying to do that. You can't do that. Deal with the Most High or deal with Mammon. You can't serve God and Mammon. You can't do that. Okay, last one. James chapter 2 verse 5. James chapter 2 verse 5. Remember, we the poor, we're going to inherit the kingdom. We're going to inherit this earth. We're going to get it. Revelations 2 and 9 knows our poverty, but we are rich. Where those riches are going to come from? It's going to come from when our kingdom comes, when our kingdom is established.
Book of James chapter 2 verse 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren, hath not the Most High chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom, which he hath promised to them that love him?
See, the Most High has chosen us, the poor of this world. Listen, you trying to still acquire riches and get rich in this world. Listen, as I said, at the end of the day, you're only going to be a slave with money. You're still going to be a slave. That ain't going to change. Why? It's not your kingdom. It's not your kingdom. The riches that you're supposed to pursue after is that spiritual riches. Spiritual riches. Read James 2 and 5 for me again.
Hearken, my beloved brethren, hath not the Most High chosen the poor of the world, rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom, which he hath promised to them that love him?
Which he has promised to them that love him. So, and we know what the love of God is. What's the love of God? How do we know? How do we show the Most High that we love him?
Keep his commandments and commandments not grievous.
Right? Simple. That's it. Right? So the Most High has chosen us now, and he has made us heirs of the kingdom. Okay? And he's promised the kingdom to us. Why? Because we love him. And how we love him? We keep his commandments. That's showing the Most High that we love him. And that keeps us in good standing with him, and that makes him continue to bless us and give us just enough to make it day by day. And guess what? If you get a little bit more blessing, hey, think about the brother or sister next beside you. Think about somebody who ain't doing as well or don't got the same amount as you, and be hospitable. Because this is really what these riches are for. It's not for you to just behold them and look at it and say, wow, yeah, look at my stack. Nah, It's for you to be able to share or be a blessing to someone. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, even when you read Acts, one of the first things that the church did was that they took all their possession and they sold it, and they used their possessions to care for everyone who didn't have or didn't need, but it was just enough to help all the bodies of the congregation.
There you go. Beautiful. Well said. Yes, sir. That's what it is. It's not for you to say, well, yeah, my bank account is fat. And I'm not saying, listen, you know, I know people, you know, I got money saving up to get out of here. I'm not saying, okay, take all that money and say, okay, here. You know, no, right? But if you know that, you know what, other than from what you're saving up to do certain endeavors, right? Such as fleeing or whatever the case may be, other than that, and you know that, you know, on the other side, you're blessed a little bit more. Hey, you know, say, hey, man, hey, I'm having a dinner at my house. Everybody, come over. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, just showing hospitality, right? If you know that, hey, sister or brother last week who ain't doing so great, let's say, hey, man, drop by and like, hey, some groceries, give an envelope, something. You know, that's all it is. That's all it is. But yes, brother, thank you. That was beautiful. So, you know, as I said, straightforward, straight to the point. You know, it wasn't a really long lesson, but I think it needed to really go out there so that at least we can all keep our perspective on what our aim and our goal is, especially when we're going out there working and trying to make a living and not just working just to get rich. Right? That's not it. That's not it. The Most High bless you with a job so that you can be able to deal with whatever finances you need to deal with on a day-to-day basis, and you know what? Be a blessing to somebody else. It's not for you to store up all these riches and look at them every day and say, well, yeah, by next month I'm gonna have 20 grand, right? No. Okay, so with that, I want to say shalom. Any questions? Feel free to ask.